Eddie Murphy seems to have a lot to say about Kevin Hart, but I'm not sure where he broke or when anyone broke. I do know that Ain't Nobody Broke is still the highest grossing concert film ever made, so I'm not sure what records nobody broke. Kevin: yes, I smashed Ed's record. I haven't been on stage in 27 years, but I'm still attempting to beat my own records. God bless you all. I'm going to perform once more because I have to break Kevin's new record. I have to return to the stage because I have to break Kevin's new record. Since we were all listening to Eddie tell stories, regardless of where we were in our careers, we were all bowing down to the GOAT in our minds. Kevin is feeling the heat trying to calm down Eddie Murphy instead. There is just no want of reason to step back into that place until he feels absolutely positively ready for that. In the 80s and 90s, Eddie sat at the head of that table. Eddie Murphy was the undisputed king of comedy and eventually became a legend. Fast forward to 2016, and Forbes crowned Kevin Hart as the highest paid comedian, solidifying his status as one of the top comedians of our generation. So when no asked Affy and Crockett why Hart might not receive the same level of respect as Murphy, Crockett explained, it's because Murphy was the pioneer who broke the mold for Black comedians. In his words, the difference with Eddie and everybody else is that no one had ever seen what Eddie did. He said Eddie was the first to do a lot of, even though he patterned himself after Richard Pryor, he took it a different place, just like Michael Jordan patterned himself after Dr. J. Kevin gets compared because he's beastin', but the difference between Kevin and Eddie is that by the time we saw Kevin's success, we had already seen Eddie Martin and the Wands family, so we had so many people before. But when Eddie broke, there was no one doing it like him now. Let's talk about Eddie Murphy's history. Back in 2019, there was an interesting connection between Eddie Murphy and Kevin Hart. In a surprising turn of events, producers were surprised by Murphy's decision to decline hosting the 2019 Oscars, as they had offered him a substantial fee and the rights to use Oscar footage in one of his upcoming films, which would have been worth millions of dollars. Insiders exclusively shared this information with RadarOnline.com. Murphy also left a sizable fortune and a unique filming opportunity on the table. This unexpected rejection can be partly explained by Murphy and Hart's shared history in X-rated comedies. The Academy had also seen the response that Kevin Hart had experienced as a result of his previous contentious remarks. In 2012, Eddie faced a similar situation when he resigned from his hosting position due to a controversy surrounding the use of a homophobic slur by a show producer. Fast forward to 2019, and sources close to the matter disclosed that the Academy had been attempting to court Eddie Murphy for a return role as host, but he turned down the offers after seeing the ordeal Kevin Hart went through. Eddie was completely turned off by what happened to Kevin. Eddie's past is as shady as Kevin's, according to the source, and the last thing he wants is to become entangled in the backlash that tends to accompany this position. In December 2018, Kevin Hart announced on Twitter that he was stepping down from hosting the Oscars. He cited the desire to not be a distraction on a night meant to celebrate talented artists, and offered a sincere apology to the LGBT community for insensitive comments from his past. Aside from that, his list of scandals is nothing short of shocking. When Kevin Hart talks about his wife, Anno Parrish, it's usually all about love and admiration, but in a surprising turn of events, he essentially confessed to cheating on her while she was pregnant. Here's what he had to say in a moving Instagram video in September 2017. "I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I have a target on my back, so I should make wise decisions. But recently, I didn't. I'm not perfect. I made a poor decision and placed myself in a situation where only bad things can happen, and they did. As a result, I know that I will hurt the people closest to me, who I've apologized to and talked to. It's a moment when you realize you're wrong, and there are no justifications for your wrong behavior. But I'm not going to allow someone to profit financially from your mishaps, and in this specific case, that's what was attempted. I said I'd rather own up to my mistakes." Hart did not elaborate on his actions, but TMZ revealed that there was a video purportedly capturing him engaging in Essie-like behavior with another woman in a club and in bed. A spokesperson for HART clarified that the video was part of an extortion attempt and that law enforcement was already investigating the matter. TMZ was able to obtain the video, but they did not release the entire clip. They labeled it as graphic and noted that although Kevin Hart's face was not visible in a particularly racy scene, the footage was nonetheless in the video. A man who looked like the comedian made an appearance. Text cards in the film hinted that Hart started the Hurricane Harvey challenge in anticipation of the footage's imminent release, possibly in an effort to win back the public's favor. The video further alleged that on the weekend of his pregnant wife's birthday, Kevin Hart was recklessly partying with my friends and me, drinking, doing drugs, and having sex with multiple women at the Las Vegas Cosmopolitan Hotel. The other woman involved in the alleged extortion attempt against Kevin Hart. The video claimed that the alleged cheating occurred between August 17th and August 20th, 2017, according to the text in the video. The real reason Kevin Hart orchestrated the Texas Hurricane Relief Fund, this so-called good deed, was done to get ahead as he knew this damaging footage was one click away from being exposed as the liar and cheater he is. Monty is a jerk. On September 20, 2017, the woman whose image was used in the extortion attempt came forward and said, "My name is Monty Aspig. I was involved with Kevin Hart about a month ago, and since then, false information about me has been written and my pictures have been made public. I am not an actress or an extortionist, and I have nothing to do with these recordings. I sincerely apologize for any part I may have played in this scandal." Counsel Lisa Bloom addressed the matter, noting that lie detector test results are frequently erroneous and that they are not acceptable in court. She did not directly comment on claims that Sabag had requested $420,000 for a lie detector test. According to Bloom, it appears that someone secretly placed cameras in Kevin Hart's private hotel suite in Las Vegas and captured images of the two of them in the bedroom. It is illegal to place cameras in private spaces like hotel rooms, to secretly record people in those spaces, and to distribute those images. According to state and federal legislation, Montana is the victim of numerous felonies, she continued. Despite reports that law enforcement is looking into the problem, we have not seen any evidence of that. Nevertheless, we will report the incident to the authorities right away, and we will work closely with them. Bloom said we are not pursuing legal action against Kevin Hart, nor are we seeking money from him. While it seems that Kevin Hart is the victim of this criminal, just like Monica is, we are inviting Mr. Hart to work with us to bring the offender to justice. To the criminal who did this, I say, you belong in prison, and we will locate you an AA turn in the tail. The person seeking to extort Kevin Hart had made a number of demands for money, including one for a substantial 8-figure sum, law enforcement sources informed TMZ. Source close to Hart acknowledged that the woman in the video was familiar to them and had previously been involved with another celebrity who is currently a TV star. These insiders also noted that the video was recorded using an iPhone placed discreetly in the room, an act that is illegal, according to TMZ. The FBI had identified the woman in the video, who was seen interacting with Hart, and suspected that either she was the person making the extortion demands or someone with access to her iPhone was behind the extortion attempt. The situation became even more complicated when someone who might have been involved in the extortion attempt contacted Hart's team and offered to pay a whopping $500,000 to participate in a lie detector test about the content of the videos. Ironically, Kevin Hart had stated in 2016 that the fear of being caught was a significant deterrent to cheating, explaining that it's too risky today, so it certainly seems like the man has secrets wants to hide. Hart's legal team reportedly declined this offer in May 2018. A former friend of Kevin Hart's, named Jonathan Todd Jackson, was charged with 1 count each of felony attempted extortion and extortion by threatening letter.